What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. Today we're going to take a look at the top 1 Viego on the European server Kun. He's also streaming, so you can take a look at the description below. You see a link directly bring you to his stream. He doesn't have a strict streaming schedule, but if you follow him and turn on notifications, you'll most definitely notice when he goes live. So for Viego Jungle, Viego Jungle, there are a few things that you have to consider. A few people believe that the second ability on level 2 is faster than the third ability, but I think even after some testing, it's at most like a 1 second difference, because if you do it perfectly with the E on level 2, you still full clear your jungle at like 133-ish with a smite charge left. So pay close attention as to how he's clearing the jungle and how much time he's saving, because it's all about opportunity in the jungle department. Viego as a champion as well, it's just all about those resets. In WildRift, luckily, you're not getting that much punished if you do not know like every specific ability of a champion you play, because the old reset is good enough most of the time. But if you truly understand how to pilot this champion, it's going to be very interesting very fast, because you spawn with a fully reset set of abilities, of the basic abilities, and then you can just smash anything, and the better you are at understanding what champion you just picked up, things get really crazy. You see this jungle speed he has? He is like one step. Oh, didn't get that one, so it's a little bit slow, but you see, he has a smite charge up, is at the scuttle crab, everything beautiful. It's so fast that he doesn't even hit level 5 of this, right? Yep, he's way too fast. Now Zillion could come in the clutch and actually give him level 5, so he would be super accelerated. Goes for an instant reset, doesn't want to go for anything else. Pyke on the minimap flashing towards the kill here. We see the Wukong also appearing. Now would be the best time to open up the scoreboard to check if the Wukong actually did reset already, or if the Wukong didn't. Because if the Wukong didn't reset, it's an absolute like Wukong just dies here. Oh, level 5, he got level 5 from the XP, so Wukong has ultimate. This can get a little bit scuffed, depending on who gets the crab. Ultimate to secure the crab here. Turns around, jumps onto that one. Oh, the Wukong E following through. It's such a disgusting mechanic. Picks up the soul to avoid the Pyke hook. Jumps onto the Orianna. Gets the instant kill to the Orianna. The people just don't know what's happening with Pyke. Like, or with Viego in general. Like, this champion is so disturbing. And all that happened while his camps were not even respawning. They just spawned. So you can imagine how fast this champion is when it comes to jungle clear, dealing damage, and everything. It's such an insane champion. The reset nature of this champion is an absurd thing in terms of WildRift. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that if you jump in and kill somebody and pick up their soul, that you gain their stats, you gain their items. So if you pick up like a very squishy champion, you're not necessarily tanky. So to achieve that, like you've seen multiple builds for Viego already, right? But Viego wants to be played crit. You want to be you want to play crit on this champion, and you do not want collector. Collector is an absolute bait item, and if people are saying, yeah, why not just go bruiser? Because it your idea is to one shot somebody, preferably the enemy squishy carry, and that way crit is just so much superior to all the other options. It's just something you want to keep in your mind because it's just so potent. Okay, Poppy down here. Killing a Poppy is always kind of a problematic thing unless you overextend by way too much, which it seems to. The Garen ultimate happening instantly. Ult popped, doesn't go through here, gets the kill, gets the pickup of the soul. Poppy. Oop. And the funniest thing about Viego ultimate is simply the fact that this lovely ability also applies on hit. Like, once he has Solari, let me remove that one so we actually see the full buff bar. Once he has Solari, you'll see quite the interesting interaction on his ult cast. It looks so stupid. And yeah, it just honestly makes no sense. Okay, jungle fully cleared. His topside is the one respawning faster, like the Run to Dragon here. So doing something with the crab here, just wasting some time, not doing much. We see what on the top side here wants to go back, wants to pick up the Triforce and play for the Enchanted Ensemble. Needs to be careful though, because this top side is into the Popstar champion, and if Poppy pins you into a wall, you might just get one shot, and that is something you have to keep in mind. Whenever you choose a fight, you just have to think about where can you get absolutely CC chained. Okay, Wukong going for a pretty early play right before the Herald. This could be an absolute int by the Wukong. Because if you do this play right before the objective, if it fails, you lose everything. Your home, your family, your objective, everything. But yeah, the base damage of these champions is clutching in pretty heavily. Syndra now being around here as well. Pyke coming around. We have a full party here. The Maokai is in the pit up there fighting the Monkey King. Now they're completely split apart. The Viego will get the kill onto the Popster here. Picks up the soul. Pyke is still alive, but on the other side of the map, he didn't pick up the buckler. Okay, Pyke still looking. Pyke is hovering. Fortunately, Pyke wasn't around to get the pickup. If Pyke was close, with ultimate, the entire sequence could have gotten so much worse, but now the Wukong is losing everything. So rather than blindly running to the dragon and going for that one, you just pick up everything else on the map. The reason for that one is, number one, the soul is absolute shit in this game, like a mountain soul. Nobody cares about mountain soul because it doesn't even scale in this game. Anti-shielding is pretty prevalent anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Like, it matters even less, and it just runs it down, unfortunately. And yeah, like, Wukong just lost 3 of his camps, but we cannot show ourselves for this dive down there, even though it was, even if it was free. The reason is, like, Wukong, we saw him right there, he could have been towards the dragon side, and if he was, then we would have lost our bot side, or like our top side, sorry, the blue buff, as well as the dragon. So I need to be really careful when you go for these invades, because you want to steal away as much as possible without losing too much. Now we know Wukong has no play available on the entire map, so he has to gravitate towards this dragon. Which means, since we cleared our top side now, the only play Wukong has is dragon, or... Oh, he's actually down here, he's crazy in his head. No, he's absolutely inting out of his mind. Like, no. Like, the only plays available for the Wukong were to be on the other side of the map and go for a dive, because if he gets caught here, you just immediately get absolutely like, you get destroyed. And now, as a consequence, if there's any camp available on the top side, which at most should be chickens, if anything, he loses them as well. Yeah, but they are not up, okay. Like, nothing should be up here, because we got a red buff pickup and stuff. Oh, flash from the Lucian here, as well as the cleanse, not too bad. So now we can settle for the dragon, because there's nothing else to do. The idea generally is, you want to look at the available plays of enemy champions, like the concept of available plays. Where's the enemy, what can they do, and what are the resources you left them with? For example, we stole every bit of Wukong's bot side, so his available plays would be running towards the dragon, diving your bot lane, or running into your jungle. The problem is, if he chooses to run into your jungle, and you're there, he just instantly dies. And you have actually reason to be there, as you know that your camps are up. And yeah, so he stole 2 camps, but he died for it and got his bros killed as well. That's something that's pretty sketch. Okay, Solari is acquired, so you'll now be seeing him run around the map. And also, pre-stack the Solari if possible by just queuing into the air. Okay, but why is Solari so good on this champion? Solari on this champion has the nice benefit of actually giving your passive auto a double Solari proc. Because your passive auto is a double auto, you see? Double auto being proc. You also see how fast he stacks Conqueror. Oh, yeet! Bro is being sent home. Meanwhile, Garen just a little bit of Demacia down there. Yeah, Pyke gets stunned, NCC'd in that corner, instantly dies. We get another set of blue buffs here. Wukong is in so much trouble. Ever since that early play, Wukong has really been suffering. Like, now he can transition as well to the other side, just in case there are some camps. Look at the damage he does, and I think this wasn't even a crit. Goes in here. It's a clone, there's too much damage, something you can always do. Like, if you just pay attention to the numbers you're doing, you instantly know if it's a clone or not on the Wukong. Oh, nothing here, but again, like, it's all about getting the timers here, because if you have the timers plus some wards on the map, you just get so much knowledge and possibilities to just playing on the enemy team. But now we have 5 camps in our jungle available, and nothing else on the map is happening. Right now we're in the state where we are too far ahead as a team for anything to happen, because the only available proactive play we'd have would be invading enemy red buff. But at the same time, we have so many camps available that we truly don't want to do this. The problem is, do our teammates understand that we have to now play it a little bit slower and wait for the next set of proper objectives to play around? Or the next set of proper enemy jungle camps to respawn? For example, enemy blue. Here you see the Wukong was on his blue buff, now he's rotating back to his red buff. We will know, like, we know that he will be coming back to the Lucian. Lucian just flashed on the minimap, and now Syndra should know that the Wukong is on the way. We still know that the Wukong doesn't have red buff. No, he's just running it down, or what? Like, now we know Wukong red buff is available because we have seen him. He didn't have red buff, and red buff on the minimap has spawned, so the enemy team, if the AD carry goes there, will go for the red buff. So now we know red buff is available unless Lucian took it. Lucian had taken it. You just saw his red buff on him. Yeah, you see the red buff was on him. So he did the red buff instead of the Wukong. And yeah, needs to be careful here because this could be a major upset setup. In terms of gold swing, which will not immediately end the game because it's still not Nasher time, but these moments are like the worst. You should never go for these plays like this at this moment because they don't gain you anything. You're already winning, you just take away all the stuff you can. Ooh, the combo here, jumping in with the Solarit, the combo with the ult, and then one shot, and the next one shot. Now the healing comes, Pykel yaks on. Oh, no way Blood lives. Like, these plays all sound fun and nice, but in reality they're really dangerous because they happen around the time where the enemy gets access to Nasher. Like, this fight, like, if he dies, it doesn't immediately change the outcome of the game, but it gets closer to the point. Like, if it happens like 40 seconds later, he might lose his entire team the game if he dies there. Because, like, in early game, your deaths don't matter as much, because the objectives that are around there don't matter as much towards winning compared to, like, for example, in 30 seconds. Poppy going close, we see a lot of image issues here, but it doesn't really matter. Popstar is so goddamn tanky. She's not even worth money, goddamn. And like right now, we're close to Baron. Like, if we see the Wukong anywhere, we can immediately do Nasher. 10 seconds, not enough of time. We can argue, like, if Garen and Wukong, if Garen and Maokai stayed, we can argue, okay, we just rush Nash. Like, right now, if Maokai was in the mood, let's just come rush Nash. Like, ping on Nash, ping on Nash, ping on Nash, because that's how you close out the game. You don't want to default back to just farming your camps, you want to actually do Nash. There's a possibility he might do it solo. I don't know if he can without BT, but let's see. I think it's possible, though. Smites early to get it as low as possible. Enemy Wukong is in base anyway. So yeah, it is possible. Because minute 12 Nasher is a little bit weak. Bro gets polymorphed. Bro is just an instrument. But you see, it would have been obviously easier if somebody else was there, not tanking for him so he doesn't take the damage reduction. And yeah, now he's just going back to clear, but the problem is, you don't really want to do this. Because you do Nasher to then find an opportunity to push. Because you want to do something with the objective rather than taking what's already yours. Like, maybe he gets lucky here and spots the recall. He looks for the Lucian. Yeah. And his team is not in a position to do anything. They have recalled, they're coming back, so now he has to play it slow because he's completely alone. Like, he's not allowed to go any further, he has to wait until people arrive. Wukong is coming around with a clone. You saw the minimal movement that showcased that it was a clone. This is really dangerous, his team is not yet in position to achieve everything. He plays it slow, so it's good, but his team needs to be in position. They need to hit on the mid lane tower for him to be this close, otherwise it's just way too risky. Now, the Syndra just one-shots them because she's too far ahead, but we want to play two lanes here. And just make them choose or split up their forces, because if the enemy is split up and he's close, like for example, if anybody was close enough, you could have just one-shot the Orianna if the Orianna doesn't have flash or stasis, because he one-shots her. Like, he just legitimately one-shots the Orianna. Oh, bye-bye, nerd. See ya. Popstar dealing some unholy damage. Gets hit by the shockwave. Gets CC chained here, it's really dangerous, has to flash away, wanting a little bit too much. They already got everything they wanted. Again, the greed for just getting more, and like, you could have just, for example, taken down the top wave tower, like top lane tower, and then take away the enemy topside jungle as well, to then path towards Dragon, to then path towards your own topside, to have like everything, you know? But the problem is, in solo queue, people just run around and have some fun. They just try to make plays that don't really make sense, they don't really follow logic, and then you have an absolute demon game. Like, the game is completely over here. Like, Wukong even sold his items, he's so upset. And all they have to do is get in the waves and end the game. If the waves are collapsing there, it's gonna be over, and boop, bro just died. And another one just died. Picks up this one. If he got stunned by this pike, nobody wants to end the classic. If he got stunned by that pikey, the game would have been really bad. And yeah, they end the game. Into the second game we go. Playing against a Talon jungle, pretty much forgotten in this game. Not really many people play it anymore because it just doesn't do too much. But what can be done? The champion just unfortunately isn't in his strongest form anymore. But he's still annoying to face, especially if he's snowballing. But any meta AD jungle doesn't really care. Like, Talon is only like at this point, it's only a tempo champion that is running around the map and trying, like, he has to utilize every single bit to be valuable. This Camille placed a deep ward in the jungle. That is what her positioning on the map basically told me. But what I'm curious about is actually seeing another early clear from another Viego that starts, or that skills the second ability on level 2, to see what kind of a difference it makes, if it actually does make a difference. Because yeah, like if it's only like 1 second, it's pretty much whatever, but if there's like a pretty sizable change, obviously you have to utilize every single bit you can. Anime bot lane is Jana, absolute goblin champion. And for your junglers, you have to be really careful. There's like a hard reset line in jungle. Like the moment you step into the lane, or the moment the monster steps into the lane itself, it automatically resets. It doesn't matter how much patience it has left. It just insta resets whenever, like, normally it has like a certain timer where it resets, but in that regard, well, it's a little bit painful if that happens. Oh yeah, and if your mid laner is too close to your chicken camp when you go there with your third ability, you might lose aggro on these chickens, and they walk mid lane, which is really awkward. Like, it's super awkward. But yeah, so far, nothing much has happened. Easy secure on the camps here. And so looking for a reset here. Does he have his boots on mana? I wonder. Otherwise, there would not be much of a reason to reset if he doesn't, unless he just wants the rift on mana. Okay, I think I have the sound here enabled for a second, which is unfortunate. Talon in the pit, he will just get to escape. Can't really chase down the Talon, unfortunately. E away, Nautilus ult comes through, gets cancelled by the own Camilla ult, jumps onto that one, gets the ult reset here, jumps into Talon, Talon jumps away with the combo. Oh, this might be a little bit too much. Yeah, farewell friend. The Syndra just makes her appearance. Pretty sad, unfortunately, but it's fine. The Talon Flash made it, unfortunately, a little bit problematic, but it's fine. We also got pretty insane vision here. Like, we know the camp timers. Like, you see, like, we know that Talon started on the bottom side of the map with the blue buff respawn timer thanks to the ward placed there earlier. We know that he's on Wolf's or Gromper right now, which means there's a possibility that he might gank bot lane. Our bot lane should be very much aware of that one, because like, good play is not necessarily about being flash, it's about playing around what's invisible. Like, the more you know, the better you'll be, like, get into in this game. It's most likely that the Talon is also gonna, yeah, he's still there because the blue buff hasn't spawned, which means we'll have the reset timer on the chickens, so we can say hello to the chickens. We can also say hello to the enemy Crux, but we need to be careful. If we are spotted here, the Talon might just walk into our jungle and steal our stuff. So yeah, but Talon as a champion doesn't really do too much at this stage. He just absolutely gets ran down here by the Azol. Funny scaling champion, by the way. And yeah, since he has seen that the Talon did not have blue, because it was still not spawned when he was visible, he just takes the blue away and looks for a dive opportunity, perfectly synced up with the ultimate. His team doesn't even need him, as it seems here. Gets in with the kill. Unfortunately, a little bit choppy, the footage here, but not too much of an issue. Okay, Azol getting absolutely dominated by the Syndra here. That's one of the most annoying matchups for Azol. Because at some point, if the Syndra just combos you with a ranged stun, you just lose all your HP. And if it happens for the second time, you'll just die. So any single time you're not like 100% HP in lane, you might run into danger of actually dying. Especially around the point where Syndra gains her Q evolve and then can go for a triple Q combo. Because you gain insta 2 charges after getting this Q empowerment, if you choose, like when you choose to get it. So you cast your first Q, you evolve your ability, cast 2 more Qs, and then your ultimate has way more damage. And you just generally have way more damage. It's like a niche thing you can abuse every single time to just get so much strong. And the Nautilus top just double killed them. What in the hell is going on? How does that even make sense? Jerry just jumped in with the John Rakan, pretty low HP in the mid lane. But again, going for the objective here. Talon died. We didn't see what cooldowns have been used, but this should be an absolute free pickup. We also said he didn't check if the Talon had red buff when we looked at the Nautilus, right? He should have, though. Bomba. Bro is tanking turret shots like they're candy. Why not? Again, look at the timer on the map. We know for a fact Talon will be on the bottom side due to the respawn timer of Gromp and mirroring it with our bot side. Well, our top side, sorry. So any play made down there is really dangerous. A play made up here is relatively secure because we know what's on the map and what's not on the map, so this should be very much free pickup. Now Talon could choose to opt in for Dragon, which would be a big problem for him because it would like deny him access to farming, and gold is far more important for him than an Ocean Dragon. Because again, the soul of Ocean Dragon doesn't really do anything in the game. And he's now committing to this because Talon cannot really do anything. Talon doesn't really have access to his top side here, where Blue Buff, Gromp and Wolf are. Oh, what did we just see here? Let me go back in time. Talon actually invaded. That is crazy. Look. So Talon actually made the right play of getting there. That's a rare thing to see. Like now he knows that his top side is taken and Talon will walk into his bot side. So ideally with his team he forces a play on Talon's bot side. That would be the best play. Not the Dragon. Maybe like if they get it for free, sure. With ASOL ult, absolutely sure. But it's very hard to enter. But yeah, Talon is in his bot side and now it's a question of gold. Like you would obviously have preferred your own jungle camps over Talon getting these camps, because Talon shouldn't have realistically any like access to this jungle. But because the Viego was visible for so long, the Talon just pathed by. So now we know Talon has taken away like your top side as well as his own bot side, and he will go back to his top side. But Talon is so weak, like he is poor. The next thing we can do is we can just mirror people. Oh, this is even gonna work. Yeah, ASOL dies. It's the ASOL. He's not the strongest. Talon is 1 HP and survives. Okay. Like at some point we need to start shifting our intent from farming and just playing the macro game to just completely outmuscling them, because we are strong enough. When it comes to WildRift, when you want to play the game, like as a jungle, you focus mostly on getting strong, like focusing on yourself because you cannot really trust people. You don't really care about objectives unless they benefit you. And then once you have enough gold, you just run over them on cooldown because you want to wait until they make a mistake, while you expose 0 to none, like 0 to just very few mistakes. Like all this should have been taken already because Talon has escaped towards this direction. Gets caught here, gets one shot, picks up the Syndra. Syndra has insane range if you know the abilities, that is. Yeah. Talon, you are not dealing damage, pal. Talon is not really dealing damage. And again, when you play, like, it was very good by the Talon to invade his top side earlier. That was very good, very unexpected, due to how the game already went. But yeah, very good play. Like, it's a crazy play though again, but it's like one of the only options he has. Again, we know where Talon was seen last, so Talon might be behind the Camille here. Don't walk too close, because otherwise she can ult. Yep. If she has ult, that is. Yeah. Because if you walk too close, she might ult an Nautilus ult and might get away. I don't think she can, but it just lowers... Oh, Rakan. Yeah, that's a little bit hardcore force. If somebody else is there, it's a little bit tough. Rakan could have played this differently. I mean, this was not necessarily needed, but yeah. Insane Zhonya's pickup already by the Syndra. She doesn't want to fall victim to the one-shot of the Viego. Yeah. That moment when the Talon can't even kill an Asol. Life is tough. Life is absolutely tough. Sadly. Camille looking up here, will try to use the hookshot to escape, gets the hookshot off, and does escape. Need to be careful here in these choke points. They have Zeri, they have the Syndra, there's a lot of CC, decent AoE damage. Like the moment Zeri picks up this Runan's Hurricane, things become really troublesome. I think Janna just used Veil onto the Zeri for fun? I'm not quite sure, I didn't see. Talon now defending mid, but is going to lose his bot side jungle. There's also a massive bot lane wave. Hopefully Asol goes there to share it with somebody. Would have been lovely for him to share. Not Talon face checks here, need to be careful though. I mean, using this ult to either like escape or deal damage is fine, but again, trying to be the hero, trying to go for a solo play with nobody around. Really dangerous stuff because you might feed the enemy shutdowns, and if you die, things get really problematic. The best thing could have been like going to the ginormous bot lane wave, sharing it with the Asol, so he just puts his E down and you get like half of the gold. While then you look for another play around the big Asol ult. Obviously, if he killed the Talon, he will survive this play and escape. That's like the thing. But again, how much is the risk versus how much is the reward? Second dragon here will be a free pickup. It doesn't really matter though, like it's not gonna make the difference. But if Talon chooses to try and steal and Talon dies, it's an immediate Baron angle. So right now we know that Talon is coming from the right side looking for a flank here, so Xayah might get jumped on by the Talon from the right because we know he was there. Okay, it doesn't go so because it's still Xayah. Ultimate of Asol comes in, wasn't a big one though, goes in with the jump here, goes for the last hit onto the Camille. Talon is running top left, we see a dive here happening while the Talon is escaping towards the Baron. And we get a kill here on 4 people. Talon is stuck alone in the river, getting killed by a dragon. And now we can immediately go for the Baron while one person actually pushes. Like right now, I would have loved my AD carry to actually push mid lane, because he's not needed here. I would have loved my AD carry to push mid lane into tier 3, taking care of the Nexus shield. But yeah, that sadly didn't happen. And with that, we are at the end of this video. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, come back for more content, and if you want to watch him play jungle, take a look at the description below. I'll link his stream there as well. And yeah, have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye bye.